Well, it's a great day in Guthrie, Oklahoma. It's probably 70 degrees and sunny. On my way to the hangar to finish up the oil change, and looking forward to getting that done today. Anyway, see you inside. Alright, here's the 1977 Piper Archer II. We've got the top of the cowling off. We've started draining the oil. We let it set overnight, unplugged, so we could get every little bit out of that crankcase. And you can see the general condition here. We've had the vacuum system removed off of this airplane. We have the Garmin EIS, so that's freed up a lot of space in the backside of the engine. You can see how easy it is to remove that oil filter, and the engine is actually really dry and clean. I've got the dipstick out here getting ready to pour 6 quarts of fresh 15W50 aeroshell in there, and then we'll do a run up, make sure we don't have any leaks, and seal it back up. I'll show you what we've done here. We have about 3 feet of clear tubing that we hooked up to drain the oil. And we use clear tubing because as that oil starts to drain, you want to not have a surprise when it starts blasting out of the end here into the bucket. And we captured our sample for the lab analysis first, and then proceeded to let it drain overnight. And you can see while it was in here, we wiped it down, cleaned it up. We've got the cowling setting over here. It's in good shape. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and button it up, pull the clear hose out, and move the bucket out of the way, and fill it up with 6 quarts of 15W50. Alright, I'm back. We've got everything cleaned up. We've got 6.5 quarts of oil. I just checked it. Everything's sealed up, no leaks. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that tug and hook it up, and I'm going to pull the airplane out. We're going to do a run, and we've got the Garmin EIS electronic engine instrument system, and we'll talk about that a little bit while we've got the engine running, warming up. And I'll see you back in a minute. Okay, we're back in the airplane, and we've got it moved outside on the ramp. The hangar door's down, the tug is disconnected, the brakes are set, and we're going to go ahead and do an engine run, let it warm up. And I don't know if you can see or not, but the top part of the cowling is off, and we're going to let it run. We'll go through the EIS instrument here for you, and we'll watch the engine warm up, and then we'll check for leaks. Right, I don't know if you can hear me good or not, but here's the EIS. You can see we've got about 61 pounds of oil pressure, and if you'll notice for the 0360, that gauge is wrong. go ahead and turn those on. And once those get powered up, that message will clear. And you can go into options. You can set your preferred cylinder head temperature warning, low oil temperature, high oil temperature, low bus voltage, high bus voltage, low fuel reserve, and you can set your preferences on those, whether it's regulatory out of the flight manual or if it's something like fuel reserves, you know. And we can spin the large knob to get to another menu. There's our fuel flow in gallons per hour, exhaust gas temperature, and our carb temperature. Carb heat temperature was a great addition to this. And there's our exhaust gas temperatures and cylinder head temperatures. So they're going to warm up here pretty quickly since I've leaned it out a little bit. And now we've got our avionics up. We'll go ahead and continue, select continue, and press to accept. So you can see you get a lot of value out of that EIS. Highly accurate, all 4 cylinders are measuring temperatures. And this oil pressure is what I was talking about earlier. When it gets below 60 psi, they have that set in correctly. And if I increase the RPM just slightly, you'll see it'll put that out. If I go back to idle, it gets below 60, and where the avionics shop set it, it will give you an oil pressure annunciator that says, hey, this is not a normal condition. But minimum oil pressure on the ground at idle is about 25 psi. So the gauge really doesn't